Who's gonna move?
Who's gonna move?
We gonna move for you.
We gonna move for you.
Say 1, 2.
1, 2.
We ain't gonna move.
We ain't gonna move.
We gonna move.
We gonna move.
Good morning. I am a southern farmer and proud to introduce my herd to you.
Our farm is one of the several hundred dairy farms in the state of Georgia. We all contribute to the $1 billion made by Georgia's dairy industry each year.
So let me paint a picture for you of what our cows typically experience. It's a good start to the morning, nice 70 degrees.
It's almost the afternoon, about 88 degrees.
Now it's about 90, 99, geez, it's in the afternoon.
And did we forget to mention that today's humidity is in the 90s, as it is most days.
As you can see, we cows are very uncomfortable. Not only will our milk be compromised, but if we don't get out of this heat and humidity, death is a definite possibility.
To keep us cool, the farmers can move us from field to field more slowly and also sprinkle water on us.
But a large amount of dairy farms down here are run independently with small staff or both. If half of my cows are in one field and some in the other, I can't be in both places to check the temperatures of the cows. This increases the chances of overheating.
That's true. So, in case you missed it, what just happened was my cows got really hot and they got really uncomfortable. And their cow tag changed from a white to a really vibrant red. This is because to make it easier for farmers to keep track of how hot their animals are, we've redesigned an essential part of the cow, their tag.
Today, most cows' tags are white with black numbers.
So we decided to cover the tag in thermochromic paint, which means it is temperature sensitive and therefore will change colors depending on the temperature of what it is lying upon. The paint we choose determines at what point the color will change. We call this the mood ring.
We cows have large floppy ears in which the tags are attached to and are almost always touching, so the tags will surely be affected.
Once the tag sends any unusually high temperatures, the paint will react and the tag will become red.
This way, instead of having to manually take the temperature of all my cows, I can simply look out and see if the majority of the tags are no longer white.
Now let's go back to my example of being separated from part of my herd, because they're currently grazing. Even with this new tag, I still can't see if some cows are too hot if I'm not there with them.
That's true. That's why, in addition to our tag, we recommend installing a color sensor on the irrigation system nearby, so that if, in the case, the unfortunate event that the cow tag does turn into a red color, the color sensor can pick that up and can send it to farmhands' devices.
Covering our tags in thermochromic paint is a simple solution that is also cost-effective compared to the other possibilities out there, including devices that are swallowed or implanted into the cows.
Exactly. I can't afford to spend all that extra money on my herd, and neither can my neighbors. An average farm around here has over 200 to 2,000 cows.
Exactly. So we have the great pleasure of Skyping with Ms. Farah Newberry. She's the Executive Director of Georgia Milk Producers. This means that if you take the whole dairy industry of Georgia, she's kind of on top of it. So she loved that our solution is so cost effective because she understands that there are lots of mass farms in Georgia, factory farms we might call them, but there are many more independently run, family-owned farms that maybe have 5, 6 farmhands. So this would be very helpful to them because right now they're doing research on Fitbits for cows basically, which cost $50 to $80. They're great technology, great solutions, but they just aren't financially achievable by these smaller farms. So we shared this solution with a farm like ours. It's locally owned, locally run, and they loved it. They loved how inexpensive it was and that they could keep track of more than just one part of their cow, basically. So they have the Watsons pictured on the board that you will receive a picture of later. They have a pie-shaped field, meaning that they may have cows in one slice of the field and cows in another. So if there are 5 farmhands and some are off cleaning, say, and a few are with this group of cows and a few aren't, then that leaves a cow group vulnerable to overheating. This way, cutting out human interaction basically, and instead of relying on the color sensor to communicate with devices, it makes the chance of overheating, it basically decreases that chance.
We didn't only share it with farmers though, we shared it with engineers such as Mr. John Bobbitt in the area on the issue as well. This is because that we know our business, the dairy industry, affects lots of people and is also made better by lots of people.
Yep, the equipment used to take care of the herd is being improved all the time by engineers. Also teachers, including the head of middle school at a school nearby us. are interested in a way to fix the problem of cows overheating.
One more thing, we have a picture of the Watson's irrigation system control panel. Another option that relates to using our tag is an attachment to be placed on the control panel so that if the color sensor is triggered, the water may be sprayed without a worker present.
That's right. In the unfortunate event that a cow overheats, our animals can become cooler in seconds.
Thank you so much for listening to our presentation. And before we get on to questions, these are actual cow tags that the Watsons, the owner of the farm we mentioned earlier, gave us. This is not an actual prototype, but it is a before and after of what the cow tags would appear in case of overheating.
Okay, very good. So, first question for you guys, can someone explain the thermochromatic paint?
Sure. So what thermochromatic paint is it's temperature sensitive paint that will react after it reaches a certain temperature. So the cow's body will cause this paint to heat up and it will become a certain temperature and then it will turn a different color. This color, which is an alarming shade of red, will notify all farmers and color sensors nearby that the cow has overheated.
Okay, another question. Explain the differences between body heat and ambient heat.
So the body heat is the actual temperature of the cow, and then so the tag is mostly affected by the body heat rather than the ambient or surrounding temperature because the tag is touching the ear. And then we are almost 110% sure that this is going to work. We just have to have a prototype.
Okay, now in your presentation you talked about speaking with Georgia milk producers.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain this a little further?
Absolutely. So, again, the Watsons were our original family that we reached out to, and they helped educate us on the industry, the dairy industry that they didn't know so well. And so they had connections with Ms. Farr Newberry, lady we mentioned earlier, who is the executive director of dairy milk producers. So during our Skype conversation, we introduced our product, told her, the steps basically, and again, she loved the low-cost solution. Because there are other solutions out there, there's a pill that you can swallow, sits in the rumen of the cow, transmits information, really, really high-tech, but also very expensive. So also, she was so excited about our product and the possibility of it becoming useful in the dairy industry today that she offered to basically hook us up with this researching plant in Florida that her company has connections with, and they do research on how to better cows' experience. So that's really exciting for us that our, what was just an idea has an actual chance of being on the market and helping cows and helping farmers.
Okay, well, very good, and thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.